So I've made a bunch of videos on how to use AI to create incredible scenes for movies, ads, things like that. But one huge challenge a lot of people have is consistent voices and lip syncing for AI videos. So you can create a ton of AI videos, but every time you create, even if you use the exact same character, if you use flow or cling, it's gonna have a different voice, right? So that's a real problem if you want consistency of that character. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to solve that problem, how to use consistent voices for your AI videos, and how to do lip syncs. Now, I'm gonna use a few different tools for this, but I'm gonna start with the image editor here. So I've showed you FreePic in the past. I'm not sponsored by FreePic. Maybe I will be one day, but right now it's just a tool that I really like a lot. And so I'm using it to generate images. So I'm starting with, I'm actually not starting with Nano Banana. I'm starting with Image Gen 4 Ultra. And I'm basically just trying to get a start scene here. So the prompt I'm using here, this is just an example prompt, something I came up with in my head, but I thought it would be a really good example. So the scene I'm imagining in my head is a guy who's lost at sea, like a fisherman from a third world country who's lost at sea. So my prompt is essentially a weathered South Asian man, late 50s in a monsoon rainstorm. So it's basically a guy in the rain on a small boat stuck in a rainstorm, right? You can see the prompt here. We don't need to go through every word of it. Now, what I really wanted to do here was create a scene and then have a consistent voice that I could use for several different scenes for this character. And I'm gonna show you how we do that. So I'm gonna take this scene here. So it's a 16:9. That's very important here because I'm gonna use flow for this video. And most of the AI tools out there are gonna prefer 16:9. So I take this screen, right? So I download this frame. I'm gonna come over to flow and I uploaded this as a framed video. So I've created a bunch of videos on this. You probably already know how to do this, but you basically come over to Google Flow. This is VO3. You upload, you go to frames to video and you upload your image, right? So I uploaded the image that I created here in FreePic. And I basically gave it a very simple prompt. Rain falls on the man as the camera slowly zooms in and he talks about he'll never be the same again, right? And here's the scene it created for me.
I will never be the same again.
So it's pretty good, right? We have the sound effects of the ocean. He kind of makes a weird grunting noise. I don't love that. And then he mentions his little line here that he'll never be the same again. He kind of has like an Indian accent. So we have something already, right? But I don't want to use any of this. I actually want to use my own voice for this video, right? I'm going to show you how we do that. So in come the third tool here, and we're using something called Act 2 from Runway. Now, this has actually been around for a few months, but I just finally got my hands on testing it, and I am really, really impressed with how it works. So I'm going to show you how it works. So the first thing you have to do is upload what's known as a driving performance, okay? So you're going to upload a video, and this video could either be of you, somebody you hire. You could even try to get AI to create this video if you wanted to, but if you really want consistent, exact expressions that you're looking for this video, it's going to be best to upload your own video. Now, whatever video you upload, it's also going to take the audio from that and it's going to lip sync it onto the video that you upload, right? So this driving performance is not only going to take the facial expressions that you put in this video, but it's also going to take the audio that you put from this video and it's going to lip sync it perfectly into the video that you upload, right? So I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So I'm going to select an asset here. Now, please don't laugh. This is a video of me from my iPhone, basically just trying to put on a little performance here. It's super cheesy. It's terrible. I'm not saying you would ever use this performance. Maybe, honestly, I think the way this would work best is if you hired a voice actor and you hired like an actor who could just, take a phone, very simple phone, and actually do the driving performance themselves, right? It doesn't have to be a professional shoot. But I think it would give you the best results. But I'll show you what I uploaded and I'll show you how this works.
I will never see my wife and child again. I will die alone in this ocean.
So this is my very terrible performance of, my line that I say here, right? But then again, this is only for an example purpose, so you can see how this works. But this is the driving performance. Now, the next thing I do is I upload the video, right? So I literally just took the video, downloaded it here from VO3, and I uploaded it directly here. Now, you have a few options. You obviously want to be in Act 2 here, and you can change the aspect ratio if you want. They have a few other settings here, but we'll keep those all the same for now. So I can do a few different things. I can enable the gestures, right? So this will be the exact gestures that are used from this video. So if I wanted to have the exact gestures used in the driving performance in this video, it will actually do that, which is really cool. Now, the other thing I can do if I don't want to enable the gestures is I can allow it to do its own lip sync, and I can just change the facial expressiveness. So if I want it to be very expressive with the face and make a lot of motions with the face, I can take this all the way up. If I want it to be more normal, I'll put it at 3. If I want it to be more subdued, I can bring it down to 1, right? So we have those options. Now, if I go ahead and run this, it's going to take my exact voice and it's going to lip sync the exact audio from this video onto this this video here, right, from Google VO3. Now, I can also select other voices, right? So they have a bunch of voices here that are pre-selected. Now, this is the only drawback, right, that as of right now, it doesn't have additional voices. You only can use the ones that are here. So either you're using your own voice or a voice actor's voice that you bring into the picture here, right, who's from this performance video, or you use one of their pre-selected voices. Now, another thing you could do if you wanted to is you could go to 11 Labs if you wanted to kind of expand the voice options a little bit, and you could actually change your voice a little bit, right? So they have a voice changer here. So if I wanted to, I could actually upload a video file here and I could actually change the voice, right? I could change it into the beer, whatever voice I create from 11 Labs. So if you want to expand this out from just the voices in Runway, you could take your driving performance video or whatever video, you could come here, you could use the voice changer and you could change the voice to whatever you want, right? And then I could upload that as a driving performance, and then we have the option to put any voice that we want. So then, we upload that and then we generate the character. Now I'm going to show you what this looks like. So this is the one I generated with just my voice, right? And you can see how good of a job it does of this lip sync.
I will never see my wife and child again. I will die alone in this ocean.
So you can see it did a pretty good job. Again, just using my driving performance and putting it in there. Now, this was actually not from my voice. I think this was actually from one of the other voices. I probably selected one of the other ones here. And I'll show you another voice that I tried here. So check this one out.
I will never see
this is actually my real voice. So this is the one from my real voice.
my wife and child again. I will die alone in this ocean.
So you can see it really does a great job with the lip sync. And it keeps the voice consistency to exactly we want, right? So you can see here, I changed the voice here.
I will never see my wife and child again. I will die alone in this ocean.
So we can change the voices as we want. Again, we can use the pre-selected voices here in Runway. We could change our voice in 11 Labs, and you essentially have the option to use any voice you want. Keep the voice consistency very, very consistent throughout the scenes, right? And then if I wanted to re-add the sound of the waves crashing or the rain falling, I could come in here to 11 Labs. I could go to the sound effects and I can start generating my sound effects, right? I could say, rain falling slowly on a man who's sitting in a boat, right? And this is just going to create a sound effect, right? And then I can take that sound effect and I can put it over the audio here. I could put music behind it too. And then that music can transition into the next scene, right? So then if you wanted to expand this scene out to another scene, you'd come in here to free pick. You'd upload your first scene as your reference image. I've talked about this in other videos. So I'm going to take this first scene here. I'm going to upload it as a reference image in Nano Banana. And then I'm going to ask for a different view. A face-on view of this man centered in the frame as he stands and gestures manically towards a boat in the distance, right? So now we have our second scene, right? And then I could take this scene, I could animate it in flow, I could add the voice that I want here, and then I could, add the sound effects, and then I could, have one long piece of music that goes through there. It makes it a very seamless, beautiful transition for this AI video. So very, very powerful tool to keep voices consistent here and do incredible lip syncs for your AI videos. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more tutorials like this, subscribe to the channel, and please drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this, where you think these tools are headed, and what you're able to create with these tools as well.